what it is. Coincidence? Nah, that's what you live. Whole plan dealt with a quarter lead. Better step on my foot, son, that's a mistake with it. Think right, whatever you wanna call it. Fake one's just, it's so stolen. Revelation time, watch me ballin'. Yes sir, I'm all ready. Hold and flip the downside. Up to top notch, whatever haters do. Hop tap tap, do it like this, do it like that. Do it like how it did, but now I do it like what? Got speed, I drive this wagon. Determination line, just imagine things that happens after ass laughing. You gon' bet he's gonna keep asking. Coming through, coming through, coming through now. Coming through, coming through, coming through now. Coming through, coming through, coming through. Shake it up the seat, hold the drive. Coming through, coming through, coming through now. Coming through, coming through, coming through now. Coming through, coming through, coming through. Watch where you going, hold the drive.
Hi everybody, this is Kevin and welcome back to another video. And today I am going to be ranking all 6 parts of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure anime series from my least favorite to most favorite. Now I got a couple of disclaimers here. First and foremost, I love JoJo's Bizarre Adventure as a whole, and it was very difficult for me to come up with this list. In particular, my 3 favorite parts. Like, putting them together, they're all more or less interchangeable as far as I can see. So, just because I put a part near the bottom, it's my least favorite, it's still good. Overall, the series is still great. You should watch the whole thing from part 1 to part 6, and then read the manga. Read part 7, read part 8, read part 9, and hopefully one day they'll all get animated. And then with part 10, it'll be JoJo's in space. But that's for another day. So, another disclaimer is that this is my personal opinion. So if your favorite part isn't my favorite part, don't get all mad. Leave a comment down below with your ranking and your favorite JoJo, your favorite villain, and we'll talk about it. But this is my personal opinion. My list. And then the next disclaimer is spoiler warning, because, we got to talk about certain things, and why are you watching this video if you haven't watched JoJo's? So without further ado, my least favorite part of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is going to have to be Part 1, Phantom Blood. Now, I'm not one of those people who's going to say, oh, skip Part 1 and Part 2 and just go to Part 3 so you can see the stands and Dio. Well, number one, how are you going to appreciate Dio in Part 3 if you never met him in Part 1? And then number 2, how are you going to appreciate Joseph, the best JoJo, by the way, if you didn't see his upbringing and his origin in Part 2? So definitely watch Part 1 and Part 2. But Part 1 is just near the bottom for me because it goes by way too fast. I mean, what is it, like 8 or 9 episodes? You have character deaths that don't really mean anything, like when Zeppeli dies. Who cares? And who was the one? There was Dyer, Straitso, and Tonpetty. Who was the one guy who, I don't even remember who died. One of them died, and I know it was Straitso appeared again in Part 2, but one of the dudes died, and I don't even fucking remember his name. It was Dyer, Tonpetty, and Straitso. But yeah, one of them died. It has great fights. It's the start. You got to start somewhere. I love the British voice acting. I mean, it's the American voice actors, but they do British accents, like Johnny Young Bosch doing a British accent. Dio, when he gets the one line, he goes, useless, 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 useless. A mere monkey could never defeat a lion. You are but a mere monkey, JoJo. So fucking good. So, great lines. It's very quotable. But it goes by too fast, and just in comparison to the other parts, it's at the bottom for me. So, yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, Phantom Blood, definitely watch it. It's great. It's just near the bottom, and it's at the beginning. So you gotta start at Part 1. So my next least favorite is going to be, my next after Part 1 in the ranking order is gonna have to be Part 5, Golden Wing. Now, this is definitely probably the most wacky of all the parts, the most bizarre adventure of all the parts, in that with the main protagonist, there's really no connection to the Joestar family. With Part 1 you had Jonathan, Part 2 you had Jonathan's grandson Joseph, Part 3 Joseph's grandson Jotaro, Part 4 Joseph's illegitimate son Josuke, Part 6 Jotaro's daughter Jolene, etc., etc. And here we have Giorno Giovanna, who is the bastard son of Dio Brando. And it's funny how Araki decided to go that direction. We have very unique stands, an insane cast of characters, their outfits, Bruno Bucciarati, the names, Giorno and his crazy hairdo. I like the villain, though, Diavolo, and King Crimson, especially his alter ego, Doppio, with his phone. That was great. But yeah, part 5, again, it's great. It's off the wall. It's crazy. But yeah, near the bottom for me. So next up, at number 4, we are going to say part 6, Stone Ocean. Which, Stone Ocean, for a lot of people, is near the bottom, I'd wager. I really liked it. I mean, it does have some cringeworthy dialogue early on, and it kind of has like the girl power thing going for it, but I do like the change in pace. I like the setting, especially the first 2/3, how it takes place in a prison. There's a prison break. I love Jolene, how she has such great character development from early on, you know, wanting nothing to do with her father to risking it all to save him, to get his discs back from Father Pucci. Father Pucci was a cool character. Seeing Jotaro again, having Jolene there do the good grief, good fucking grief, you know, so badass. And again, I'll say it again, Jolene is smoking. I think Jolene's hot as hell. Absolutely. Yeah, and I like the side cast of characters with Ernest and Weather Report and Anastasia, which with Anastasia's design, again, this guy, he literally looks just like Diavolo. Like, what the hell is that? But, and you know, cool that they, with the ending, they found a way to reset the JoJo universe with part 7. So, you know, I look forward to that eventually if it does get animated. But yeah, I liked part 6. So we'll put it in the middle. So next up, part 3. Now, my 3 favorite parts are very difficult to rank them all together. So I had to think long and hard about this. But my third on the list is going to be part 3, Stardust Crusaders. And again, like, first time watching this one, this was so great, man. The boss of the week, the crazy stands we're dealing with, the voice acting, just the main cast of characters from Jotaro to Joseph, Kakyoin, Abdul, Jean-Pierre Polnareff, Dio. Like, it's just so good, man. And Joseph, like, becoming the mentor, you know, he's the main character in part 2, and then part 3 becomes the mentor, and just his catchphrases, oh my god, the goddamn Japanese, I'll never forgive the Japanese, that whole thing. Jotaro, probably my favorite moment with him, or one of my favorite moments. Well, I have a few favorite moments, but we'll start with these. When he's battling against Steely Dan, and he's writing something, what are you writing there? Your receipts, keep the change. And he beats the shit out of him doing the Muda. The final battle against Dio, when he's in the fucking sewer and his head pops out of the manhole. And where do you think you're going? Like, that was so badass. The other characters, like when Abdul returns, yes, you had better believe I am. Like, just so good, man. Kakyoin, even his last stand against Dio. You're surrounded, Dio. You can't win. Oh, you're a fool, Kakyoin. And then he has his theme playing. Now die! 20-meter radius! Emerald splash! And then Dio. Oh, I have the ability to stop time! The world! Like, my god, dude. Thinking about it now, maybe part 3 is better than the other parts I'm going to talk about. But, yeah, I love part 3. So good. Stardust Crusaders. So next up, number 2 is going to be part 4. Diamond is Unbreakable. Ooh, I subverted your expectations there. I thought you guys thought I was going to put part 4 at number 1, but nope. Number 2 is part 4. Diamond is Unbreakable. And what more can I say about this one? Probably the best villain of the entire series with Yoshikage Kira, who just wanted to live his peaceful life. Yeah, right. Josuke. Great supporting cast. Of all the supporting casts, I mean, part 4 might have the best. I mean, we have Rohan Kashibe, Koichi, Jotaro returning. It's just so good, man. So, part 4, I mean, I was just marking out about part 3, and I'm going to have less to say about part 4, it seems. But watch my review of it for more thoughts. But yeah, I loved part 4. Now, my favorite part of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is part 2, Battle Tendency. And that is because of Joseph fucking Joestar. The best JoJo in the entire series. I love the dude. And as a first-time watcher, you know, I'm watching part 1. It's like, oh, it's good. But as soon as I got to part 2, you know, the first episode, Joseph dealing with Smokey. You know, the cops are hassling Smokey, and then Joseph shows up. He flings the fucking bottle cap from his soda at the police officer. It breaks their fucking knuckle as they're holding the gun. You know, Joseph, he just oozes charisma, man. He was so good. Seeing Caesar later on, Lisa, the battle against the Pillar Men, the Pillar Men's theme, dude, so good. Wamu, the honorable villain, which, oh my god, their fight at the end there. The one with AC/DC, my veins can move faster than your hormone. Joseph with his catchphrase, and next you'll say, Von fucking Stroheim, German science is finest in the world. I mean, dude, the fact that Byakuya from Bleach's voice actor, Dan Warren, voices Von Stroheim, holy shit. So yeah, part 2, and what's so great about part 2 is it's more digestible than the other parts. Like, you know, maybe as far as story purposes go, part 4 is better with the long-form storytelling. But if you want, like, quick, just bizarre, crazy action, part 2 is where it's at. It's like, what, 12, 13 episodes, go through it real quick. You know, you got Joseph being crazy, the final battle of the volcano, Von Stroheim. I fucking love part 2. So yes, part 2, Battle Tendency, is my favorite part of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Obviously, meaning that Joseph Joestar is my favorite JoJo. However, I will say Yoshikage Kira is definitely my favorite villain. Now, please leave your thoughts in the comments down below of who your favorite JoJo is, who your favorite villain is, what your favorite part is. And don't get mad at me because, you know, it's my opinion. So, that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Maybe one day I will review the manga of JoJo's. Hopefully one day we'll get the anime adaptation of part 7, 8, and 9. But until then, stay tuned for more videos coming soon. Peace out, guys.